In today's video, I'm going to run through a couple of quick tips, some useful things to know, things to do while traveling in Japan. So let's start with tip number one. So we're here in Kyoto, just waiting for the train to arrive. I thought I'd give you guys a quick travel tip here for Japan, and that is, if you can, pack reasonably light in terms of your luggage, because Japan is very good for accessibility in terms of they do have escalators and they do have lifts and elevators, but some of them may not be easily accessible. In other words, you'll see stairs to go down and then you'll have to walk further and around the corner to find the elevator, or you might not even be able to find an elevator for a while. Like, it might be like a bit of a hike to actually get to the elevator or to some escalators. A lot of places where the trains are don't even have accessibility access and are basically like this, where it's just stairs all the way down, so you've got to carry your luggage up and down those stairs. What we've discovered is that yes, there are elevators, but there are no elevators from ground level to platform level to station level. There are only elevators from the actual station level to the actual platform of where you get the train. That's the difference, I believe. When you're basically on ground level, on street level, and you need to come down, you can only really come down through stairs. We actually never found an elevator from the actual street into the station area. We've only ever come downstairs. We've only found elevators that once you're actually in the station and you go through the paid ticket gate, etc., from inside there to the actual platform level, we found elevators. So yeah, definitely reinforces my tip to pack reasonably light for travel to Japan, because this stairs is actually considered moderate. We've been down 2 to 3 times this before to get to the actual station. So my next travel tip for getting around Japan is to buy a Suica card, a Suica or a Pasmo card, depending on which city you actually land in. In Tokyo, you'll actually be getting a Suica card. I think in Osaka and Kyoto, you'll be getting a Pasmo card. But these are basically just transportation cards. They're a tap to pay. So what you do is basically you buy these cards and then you charge them with credit using cash only. And then when you get on the subways and the different trains, you tap on, and it will show up the amount you have on the card. And then when you reach your destination, you tap off and it will deduct the exact amount required for that particular trip. The advantage of this card is that, one, you don't have to worry about cash or anything like that. 2, you don't have to worry about how much it costs to get from your current destination to the destination you want to get to. Without this, you have to look at the map and say, okay, from Tokyo to this destination, it's 270 yen. You have to get out 270 yen, buy a ticket, etc. It's just a hassle. This is 500 yen deposit for the card, and then any additional dollars on top of that is going to be the credit that you have for the card. The big advantage for this is that, yes, you can use it for transportation all across Japan on all the different metro and subway lines. But you can also use it to pay at convenience stores for food as well as also using it for some vending machines will also accept Suica card. So look for vending machines that will actually see the tap to pay box. And most of the actual convenience stores, like a 7-Eleven or a Lawson's or a Family Mart, should actually display like a Suica symbol next to the Visa area, and you can ask them if you can use it to pay or not. So my next tip isn't really, I guess, a tip per se. It's more, I guess, words of advice. In Japan, I guess in terms of manners, people in Japan don't really, I guess, walk and eat and drink. So for example, in North America, we'll go to Starbucks and we'll grab a coffee and then we'll drink the coffee on the way to work. Or we'll grab a quick bite to eat and then we'll eat on the way to the subway, etc. In Japan, they don't really do that. It's not that it's illegal or bad, it's just considered, I guess, bad manners, or it's etiquette that they don't really do. They really will, I guess, buy the drink and or food and eat it at a stationary place, finish it off, and then they'll continue their journey. They won't actually be actively eating and drinking. I believe, from what I've heard and read, that this is because of the fact that Japan is very, very busy. There's a lot of people and they're always go, 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 and I guess it's rude, like to have hot drinks or food and bump into someone and spill it all over them. So it's more of a manners thing as well, because you know Japanese are very, very, you know, polite and well-mannered. So in general, this is what we're doing today. We had breakfast, we had our onigiri and a pizza bun as well, and our drinks, and we're just having it here. Once we finish, we'll throw it in the bin and then we'll continue our journey. We don't really eat and drink while walking in Japan. So I guess it's a quick tip, more of a thing for manners, to do, not to do. So yeah. So my next Japan travel tip is probably the most important travel tip that I can give you, and that is cash is king in Japan. So appropriate that I'm right in front of the money changer. Cash is definitely king in Japan. As advanced as Japan is in terms of the technology and everything, they do accept credit cards at about 70 to 80% of the places. Most of the department stores and the bigger shops, etc., will accept credit cards, but in general there are other places that only accept cash. I went to a Moss Burger the other day, didn't accept credit card unfortunately. Most of these small vendors on the streets will only accept cash. The Suica card is only rechargeable via cash. You can't actually recharge the Suica Passmo train card via a credit card, unfortunately. So cash is definitely king, so ensure that you bring or have enough cash or have access to cash when you travel to Japan, as it's very, very important to have cash for lots of different things. The convenience stores, etc., most of them will accept credit cards. They'll also accept the Suica card to pay for items. In general though, most places should accept credit, but there are a lot of places that only accept cash. Most of the touristy areas, especially when you go and pay for example, entrance to visit a shrine or a temple, will only accept cash. They don't accept credit in some places. Obviously the bigger places, like if you went to visit Osaka Castle for example, will accept credit for big tour groups, etc. But some of the small places where you're just visiting like a small shrine or a small temple or a small museum will only accept cash. Also, places like this where if you're looking to store things in a locker will only accept cash, especially if you're going to go and eat at ramen places with the vending machines, which you know you'd want to do when you come to Japan and experience all the ramen here. They only accept cash, where you actually put in the cash and you choose actually which ramen you want. Those places only accept cash. Plus, also my favorite thing in Japan, the vending machines on the side streets and everywhere, they only accept cash as well. That'd probably be my biggest tip for traveling to Japan. On to the next tip. So my next tip is about these things, vending machines in Japan. Don't underestimate the vending machines in Japan. They are awesome and they are everywhere. They're a good source of lots of different types of drinks. They're a decent-ish price. Some of the drinks are cheaper in vending machines compared to in a Lawson's or a 7-Eleven. So make sure you check them. You can get different types of juices, soft drinks, coffees, you can get beer, you can get ice cream in vending machines, you can get cigarettes if you're a smoker. Some vending machines you can even get umbrellas, you can get bowls of ramen. You can get everything in vending machines. It's amazing. So it's just a good source of, like, you know, you're feeling thirsty, you want some coffee, you need a hit, or if you feel like a beer on the street, vending machines. So don't underestimate them. They've got some good stuff at a decent price. They're very convenient. They're everywhere, which is great. And they accept cash and tap to pay Suica Passmo cards as well. So yeah, that's my next tip. Don't underestimate them. Definitely consider them if you need a drink. So that's it for my Japan travel tips. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to post down below and I can help answer any questions that you may have. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you really like the video, then feel free to subscribe for more travel tips. See you next time.